planet, we'll think of something. What would you do if you were the planet trying to defend against this pesky, troublesome species? Let's see. What might... viruses. Viruses might be good. They seem vulnerable to viruses. And viruses are tricky, always mutating and forming new strains whenever a vaccine is developed. Perhaps this first virus could be one that compromises the immune system of these creatures. Perhaps a human immunodeficiency virus, making them vulnerable to all sorts of other diseases and infections that might come along.
All he does is talk about shutdowns, but forget about him. Democrats all, they're shut down so tight and they're dying. We're not going to shut down, and we have to open our schools. People are losing their jobs. They're committing suicide. There's depression, alcohol, drugs at a level that nobody's ever seen before. There's abuse, tremendous abuse. We have to open our country. You know, I've said it often, the cure cannot be worse than the problem itself. And that's what's happening. And he wants to close down. He'll close down the country if one person in our massive bureaucracy says we should close it down.
Every week, tens of thousands of people travel between Taiwan and mainland China, yet there are fewer than 80 cases of COVID-19 in Taiwan. The health minister says the Taiwan CDC has been preparing for this for years. Both Canada and Taiwan saw their first people infected with the coronavirus within days of each other, but in March, Canada's cases surged, while Taiwan creeps up only incrementally, even when adjusted for its smaller population. This analysis of Taiwan's response to COVID-19 credits the island's health officials for taking action early, boarding flights and screening for sick passengers. Passengers now fill out health questionnaires on their phones while at the gate.
They could triage a large number of passengers very quickly without having them lining up in the airport.
Taiwan also tied together electronic patient files to immigration records, following up with those at risk based on their travel history, texting them to self-isolate if needed, and checking up in person, threatening fines if orders are ignored.
This is a battlefield, and we've turned ourselves from nurses into soldiers. We all took an oath, and we all have a responsibility to our patients. This is what we were born to do. So even if it's a little scary, this is something that has actually unified us, because we're all going through the same thing together. Because of COVID-19, we have changed our visiting policy to not allowing most visitors. It was a very difficult decision to make, but it's a decision that was necessary to keep our patients safe.
It's just unbelievable to see the devastation that it's causing, and I think also as a nurse, besides the chaos that's in the hospital and what we need to do to see the patients without their families here, to know that they're alone. During quote-unquote normal times in nursing, we see the patients with the family around them. In this situation, we can't be in there that often. We go in when we have to go in because we will be exposed, obviously, and we do everything we need, but each time we go in, it's to let them know, hey, I'm here. You're not by yourself.
I think everybody's afraid. Life at the end of this, hopefully we'll all make it, life at the end of this will be very, very different. The way that we're looking at what we're doing on a day-to-day basis, the way that we're looking at our colleagues, it's gonna be different. There's gonna be so much lost, so much life lost. You know, it's eye-opening to be right there to help your patients, prepare to help your patients, and be powerless. One of the reasons that always attracted me to ID is the fact that we cure people. We make people better. We give them medication and they go home and they enjoy their life. And now we have very little, if anything, to give. And it's heartbreaking.